Welcome back, everybody. It's fantasy, baseball, picks, and bets here on the Mayo Media Net. Please rate, review, and subscribe to the audio-only pod. And in a minute, I'm going to put on a clinic and ask you to press the cartoon finger down below, because that like button matters more than it should. Who am I? I'm your host, the big man with the big mouth from the Big Apple. That's John Laghezza. Follow me up at John Laghezza, How Creative, on the Bird app. At JOHNLAGHEZZA, John Laghezza, flows sharper than a razor. Hopefully you agree with the nuance and the context. We're dropping dimes here. Corked Stats, Mayo, MediaNet, Week 3 Waiver Wire show. Thank you, everybody. The feedback interaction is exactly what, got this show back here this second time around. Fantasy baseball is so much work. We're really just trying to make it. So if you just follow us up here, 2 kind of half-hour, 25-minute shows a week, not only will you be on top, following, but you'll be on top of it, hopefully winning your leagues. Because at this point, already, right, we're in April at this point, and it's a testament to the length of the season and just the fortitude and the work that goes into it. So much work. So hopefully, I'm going to do a lot of it so you don't have to. Audio-only people, you can jump over to YouTube and check some snazzy graphics I've been putting together. I think they're really helpful, especially this waiver stuff. We're going to sit and write down every single name. We're going to go over all the names, but it's really tough, especially any kind of numbers and stuff. So jump on over to YouTube or Twitter, the Mayo Media Network handle. I'll have them there as well. I like to share this stuff, prove that I'm working. So I guess without any further ado, we should just jump right up into it. Again, if you're unfamiliar, welcome aboard. Thanks so much. Beginning of the week, we're coming at you mining the statistical leaderboards on both sides, hitters and pitchers. I got access to nerdy stuff that you don't. And I think it's the best way to help find, new players doing good things, or even old players doing good things, just players doing things beyond the box score, because that's where everyone's looking. So it's not like there aren't answers there, just everyone's looking there, so we want to look elsewhere. Deviating from the crowd is always at the center of winning markets. So here we go. Mayo, MediaNet, Waiver Wire, Fantasy Baseball, Week 3. Let's get them. We'll start behind the dish. I don't even know. I guess I have some stats. But at the same time, most of this, I hate to laugh. Most of it's just like, they're playing against righties, they're playing. So hopefully some of these guys, can help you out. Again, 10, 12, and 15 team ads at each position. That's why there were 3 at each of the offensive positions. Pitching, you're on your own. I'll do my best to help you. But forget what type league you're in. Pitching is tough no matter what. I mean, I'm in a high-stakes 12-team league that I guess is considered shallow because there's only 5 starters and 2 relievers, which I always thought was normal before I started playing in, I guess what you call high-stakes leagues, NFBC. But even Fantrax has them. 9P designations, right, where could be 9 relievers, could be 9 starters. The fact of the matter is, those are 15 teams. The stress of the market is ridiculous. There isn't any pitching in the 12-team league. It's not like I'm going, oh man, look at this guy's available. I can't believe it. Woo! Not at all. Partially because of people like me, I overdraft starters. I don't really look to carry bench bats. I'd rather churn my bench bats and choose from starters. So let's do it. Behind the dish, it's again, some players would be the same, but I'm trying to keep it new. I'm almost looking at this as, if you were stuck in this format, who would I go get? So if you're stuck in a 10-team format, I think Shea Langoliers probably played himself up. 12s, it's Bethencourt. 15, take the 0. I got Austin Hedges. When you're chasing the catcher on Pittsburgh, you're really you're in trouble, man. But such is life in the big city sometimes. Right, when I say Bethencourt, he's been good. And Langolier is the other one. They're just kind of doing things. And if you're playing all the time, Langoliers in particular, full complement of plate appearances. He's got 3 homers, no steals yet, but, I mean, what do you expect? I actually think he might get a couple before the year is done, although I've been wrong. Right? On a few of those, where a lot of us thought everybody was just going to start stealing bases. That doesn't seem to be the case what we've identified early. And again, it's okay to be wrong as long as you're taking good data and making smart choices going forward. I think it's important to try and circle the guys that might break that formula we talked about, right? That time formula. And there's a couple of guys here, so we'll get to it later. But always lessons on top of lessons, right? It's a pretty complex game. So Bethencourt and Langoliers both just kind of doing the thing. If you get caught, you can't go wrong. You're going to get a little bit of pop, and there's at least enough batting average that it won't kill you. I was joking about Hedges, but he's like playing every day for Pittsburgh, I guess. This is just, it's so bad if you get stuck. He's played, 4 of the last 5, 5 of the last 7. Every day against righties, if that means anything. So it's Austin Hedges and his 160 BA. But things are really tough. I added Joey Bart, so he's not on this list. So maybe I should do that also, right? It's always impossible to cover for everybody. So Hedges is my add because I already have Bart. But if Bart's out there, he's my 15-team add. Let's go to first base. The stats, I'm not even going to really bother. It's not worth it. This is more adding in baseball at this point is just more about like good or bad, talent or not, opportunity or not. Not so much like, oh, this BA. It's when you get the high stake ads come Sunday night and you're flipping coins and splitting hairs, maybe. But when doing the kind of rough work, I'd say no. So let's go to first base. It's Luis Arias, who's just shown he's legit. He's a legit hitter. And if you get in trouble at first base, he can fill in. He's going to play every day and get on base like crazy. I actually think there might be a little more pop than people think. Then the Connor Joe, who, it's funny. His name's popping up in a few of my like draft champion teams, under these kind of deep, very deep draft and hold teams where you're just glad you have anybody. But he's played in 8 of 9 games. It's a 340 batting average on the year, 5 doubles, 2 ding dongs, and a steal. So, get while the good times are getting, right? Eat while it's good, strike while the iron is hot. And then the Jesus Aguilar, who's been pretty terrible, if I'm not incorrect. But again, you fall back on the fact that he's playing. If you're in 15-team leagues, batting 240 with a single home run, I'd give up 40 batting points for an extra 3 or 4 ding dongs over second base. Bryson Stott, not just playing every day for Philadelphia, right? So I'm trying to stress this. I don't play in any 10-team leagues. But this is more, I'm thinking about, these are like the graduation plays, right? The guys that because I know I play 12-team. Guys that maybe I thought of being ancillary in as far as 12 teams have graduated forward. Again, I don't play in 10. I like to be very clear. I play a lot of fantasy baseball, just not in 10-team leagues. Bryson Stott batting 360 on the year with a homer, 6 runs, 7 ribbies, 3 steals. Does have 20 strikeouts, but he's playing every single day leading off. So could do a lot worse. That offense is going to tick up. I don't think he's going to get bumped out for Bryce Harper either. So Bryson Stott wheels up. Vaughn Grissom next for the Braves. Been a roller coaster ride, but with Arcia down, he's up for a bit. Wouldn't overreact to anything we've seen so far, because it's been so little, but he has kind of shown us, right in the kind of small set, what he is capable of. That's Vaughn Grissom. Really impressive stuff. But I guess whatever, he's batting 273 for whatever matters. But it's pretty empty right now. Bottom line is, when I'm playing every day, I think he'll be good. I think he's probably locked into the back end of the lineup, which again is always part of the calculus. He's about 6th or 7th. But he's played, 7 days in a row versus lefties and righties. So opportunity and skill set, you got to go with Grissom. Then it's Josh Harrison. Those same Phillies, they lost Sosa, and I believe since then, Harrison's played every day. So sometimes that's all it is, opportunity arising with injuries. He's played 4 of 5 games since. They haven't faced a lefty. But at the very least, I think he's safe for the lion's share of plate appearances. This is Josh Harrison. I think he's actually been okay also, if I'm not wrong. I must have missed his name. But what are you going to expect from Harrison? He does actually give you some roto juice, but it's definitely not a guy you're looking to stick. If you get caught in a spot where you're starting Josh Harrison, hold your eye rolls. You could do better, of course, but you're not looking for him to stick. You're always looking to churn. But he could get it for you, right? Because again, going to play in a decent offense. Right now, injuries just feel like they won't stop. You got to keep up with the times if you get caught. You need plate appearances. And like, it's Jace Peterson, maybe it was that other guy on Oakland. Right? I'm trying to give you the 15 and then the 15 plus. I'm trying to do for everybody. Over to shortstop, Nico Horner right now is legit. I think he's 9 steals. So he's got to be roster university. I know some people were wondering. To Enrique Hernandez, Kike for the Red Sox. Did you have that gaping hole at shortstop? So he's going to do it. Sorry about the mic bang. Enrique also probably worth holding anywhere because second, short, and center all in the past like 5 or 6 days playing every day versus lefty and righty. Though I know some people were wish casting on him leading off. He's been spotty, so you really can't rely on it anywhere. It's been fifth the last couple of days, but when you see a 6, when you see a 7, even a 9 or an 8, you really can't be too surprised. Though the 8s and the 9s, granted, were earlier in the year. I'm never too much of an Enrique guy. He probably fits that bill also. Players I'm looking to kind of move, even if I have to start him. He scored 15 runs, 9 ribbies on 3 dongs, but only 229 batting average. And he does have a steal. So, it's a little bit of everything, but just not a guy that I think is really going to stick. Enrique, more of a filler. I mean, he went bananas in the playoffs, and I think that's exactly what you're going to get. A spike here and there if that lasts a couple of weeks. Then it's Taylor Walls for Tampa Bay. Let's finish up the infield. Then we'll take a quick break. Jump into the outfield and pitchers, both starters and relievers. Hopefully get you out of here a little bit sharper for the wear. So it's Taylor Walls. I got to be careful of these Taylors and Tylers, Wells and Walls. This is Taylor Walls for Tampa Bay Rays. Say that 3 times fast. Now batting .350 on the year. Everything that Tampa Bay seems to touch right now, turning to gold. But he's played 4 of the last 5 days, mix of lefties and righties. And then actually, so 2 of 3, 4 of 6, and then 6 of 9. So you're getting 2 on and 1 off pretty consistently, moving up from 7 to 6, playing second, short, and third. Wall's going to click a lot of eligibility tags. Also, something that you want to keep an eye on, right? Those guys, I meant to mention it before and I got taken away because newsflash, I talk too much. Those guys, meaning players that have multiple eligibilities, Enrique Hernandez was the one I meant. If you're in a league with everyday moves or even NFBC double, daily, weekly, whatever, bi-weekly, double, daily, goodness gracious. Those players are so valuable because players go down all the time. You head into the weekend, you want those 3 games. And a player like Enrique Hernandez or Taylor Walls, which are not, necessarily great on their face, are going to play every day. So, where I come from, that ain't nothing. Third base, hot corner, Patrick Wisdom is Babe Ruth, in case you haven't noticed. Not saying I'm necessarily buying it, but you got to get where the getting is good. That's what I meant before. 3 doubles, a triple, and 8 ding-dongs, 15 runs, and ribbies each. Not total, people. He is killing it right now. Patrick Wisdom. I mean, as good as this has been, the low will probably be just as low. Followed by J.D. Davis playing every day. One of the players I do have on my draft teams. Drafted whole teams. I mean, those deep leagues. I thought he'd play every day. Now he's playing every single day for the Giants. Who would have thunk it? Man, you got to get with J.D. Davis. I have a feeling he's going to play his way into 10-team viability. He's never been a bad hitter. He's just never had a chance. Batting .328, 2 doubles, 4 ding-dong, 7 runs, 13 ribs. Oh, yeah. Get with J.D. Davis. And then, third base, I'm going to tell you why I just about hiccuped and fell out of my chair. It's Nick Maton. I think he's leading off the Tigers, man. They're just struggling. Nick Maton leading off every day against righties or batting second in the past 4 or 5 days. These are the things, hopefully, that you're going, that's why I listen to this show. The value of the picking up on players. Those are major moves, right? You're not just talking about playing every day, playing into the leadoff spot in the lion's share of games against righties. Now, we don't know if it's going to stick because we don't know if it's going to be any good. But it's the opportunity that becomes a leading indicator because if it produces, it'll probably stick. So Nick Maton, batting 151 of the year, burying the lead there, has not been good. He does have 3 homers, though. Other than that, it's been a rough go. I don't know. Detroit's just shuffling it up. Hoping to find something. So I'm digging the moves, but hasn't really happened. Before I mentioned Chase Peterson, because we mentioned Harrison, who has a third base tag. And I'm sorry, Peterson would have been my escape route on third base. Geez, second base. I don't even know if I have one. If I have one, if I needed somebody for second base, gosh. I mean, it's probably, like I said, I mean, Harrison, that's why he's there. After that, geez, it might be Kevin Newman, although Newman not playing every day the way I had hoped. Playing in spurts. He played 4 games in a row, lefties and righties, and he sits 2 in a row. Spencer Steer's back. That might have been it, right? That Senzel was out, so Newman played. Steer's out. He played. Now he's back, and that could be it. So, I don't know, kind of stuck at second base. That's a tough one. Gene Segura's getting dropped everywhere. Christian Arroyo, they have not been good, but such is life in the big city, like I said. So, all right, that'll do it for the infield. Langoliers, Bethencourt, Hedges behind the dish. Arias, Joe Aguilar. Stott, Grissom, Harrison at second base. Horner, Hernandez, and Walls at short. Wisdom, Davis, and Matana at third in the hot corner. Wrapping up in case you fast forwarded for some reason. Shame on you. Into the outfield we go. That same betting site, I printed James Outman tickets at 80-1 for Rookie of the Year. It's now 5-1. Woo! Add them in every format, 10 teams. Then the man, Cody Bellinger, with the 420-foot home run on 420. Can't make this stuff up, yo. And then Kerry Carpenter, the big lefty rookie on Detroit. I think he's starting to get it going. You're going to start getting familiar with that name. He's getting added in 12s. Get ready for him for 10s. You're going to beat the crowd with these big breakout sticks. I think we're on the verge. I think Carpenter could be special. And if not, you churn. That's always the lesson with 10. Guys, especially ones you didn't pay a lot of draft capital for, goodbye. No big deal. You don't even get married to it. You don't worry about it at all. You don't worry about it at all. The problem is when you spend a lot of draft capital, then you bench them. You try not to drop them. But then your roster is to be more efficient elsewhere. Again, these things are hard. If you're carrying prospects and stuff, that's always the problem. But if your studs are not good, you don't want to roll. I don't like rolling out guys for nothing. I'd rather bench them and play guys that are hot, healthy opportunities. So again, 12 teams. Josh Lowe now kind of doing the thing, right? Funny how these things happen. I wish I could say I had a single share in 5 million teams, but I don't. It's a 362 BA, 4 homers, and 3 steals. He is rocking and rolling right now. 11 runs and 13 ribbies. Everything on Tampa turned into gold. I was a detractor. I didn't know the hit tool was there. He's looking really good. Playing every day. Get with Josh Lowe. Then Brandon Marsh, same thing. Hit tool coming along. You're going to get homers. You're going to get steals. Looking really good. Playing in a good offense. Still, he's going to bat like 6th or 7th. That's what's keeping him from the big club, the 10-teamers. And Jack Sawinski, who's like a legit power hitter. I think just because you're on the Pirates, people say, he's kind of stinks. I think he's also getting platooned. And then it kind of opens the question of, well, if the guy's like legit your best hitter, should he be playing every day? He actually played against lefty for the first time this year the other day, so they bat him 8th against him. So maybe that's a sign of things to come, which it should be, right? Are there really enough hitters better than Sawinski to sit him ever? I don't know, man. I'd be looking to let him rock and roll. So I think you add Sawinski now because if the door does open to everyday playing time, he becomes a 10-team add. Then over to 15-team, guys, you got to be a little more desperate for. My guy that I'm recommending everywhere, I want to be first on record because I haven't heard the name. It's Stone Garrett for Washington. If you're saying who, that's like exactly the point. Stone Garrett, StatCast darling in the very small set that we've seen. 478 BA, 3 doubles already, and a ding-dong. No steals yet, but he has stolen bases in the minors, putting up ridiculous 600 PA pace numbers. That's all I like to look at. So Garrett for sure. 15 teams starting to play every day for a bad Washington team. Hopefully no one will block him. He's only batting 7th. At first they were just kind of playing him sparsely. It was like against a lefty, then it was against a lefty, then a righty, then he sat for a few days. Now he's playing every day. And I hope this is it. I was big into Alex Cole. He was playing every day, leading off every day. Now he's sat 2 of the last 3 days. He's back, played with Garrett. They sat Victor Robles, who's been good. I think he deserves to play. Lane Thomas also, but then it's Meneses has got to get bumped, right? You can see how, you look to pick on these bad teams for plate appearances. Dominic Smith has been the guy kind of keeping us out. He's not hitting either. But keep an eye on Washington. It's been Stone Garrett. They're going to be battling. But if Garrett breaks out, this could be it. It could be a guy that goes universal on us. So get with Garrett now. Then it's Jihan Bay on Pittsburgh, who, if you're stuck for steals, I think you push him up a notch. Same to be said for Miles Straw. They're not going to do anything in terms of power, though. I think Bay might even have a 1 home run. Straw's not going to do anything in terms of power, but going to play every day. He's going to score runs because he's getting on, and he's going to steal. All those things, right? That kind of move the needle in fantasy. So sometimes it's just desperate times calling for desperate measures. And that's the hitters. To the pitchers, Mason Miller, add in all formats, empty the wallet in Fab, right? How could you not go to the 30-40% on this guy? He looks ridiculous throwing 104. He's probably going to get hurt, but who knows? We don't know anything about that. I love that. He's going to get hurt. Well, he might give you the 12, 13 starts in a row that you needed. And even if it's 65 innings, you can get 65 innings of ridiculous stellar work. So don't listen to people talk about injuries. They don't know. Kyle Bradish, who's back, looks sharp. If he got dropped for the injury, add him. Battenfield for Cleveland was on the whiff list, right? That advanced statistical leaderboard. So was Griffin Canning. So again, putting our money where our mouth is. Mining the leaderboard, coming up with names, and they make it on the list. Again, these guys are starting right now. So that's why they're at the top. I really tend to like both Matt Liberatore and Tyler Bibee. It's Bibee, not Bibby. I've said it incorrectly in the past. Forgive me. I have them above Canning and Battenfield if I have the luxury of not starting them. If I need innings, you can't start guys not starting. Don't do that. But if you have the luxury of waiting, if you're healthy and you're churning, like we always preach, Liberatore for St. Louis, I think he's going to get a look. I think he's going to stick, and I think he's going to be a big difference maker. Remember, this show is where it's at right now. It's week 3. Week 3. Only week 3. We got to get into the 20-somethings. That if we're talking about Liberatore by week 8, as like the Ace have had, you're going to look back and say, oh my goodness, I picked him up for $1. And now he's winning the league. That's what happened last year. It was Kyle Wright and Brady Singer. Why we added all these guys? We were awesome. Graham Ashcraft and everybody last year. So this is how you do it. Monitoring the board, getting involved, hopefully listening to the show, and then hitting rate, review, and subscribe, because again, it just matters way more than it should. Like we actually care. Wrap it up with relievers before we get out of here, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Doing a bit of a one-man band thing, but I think this is how you do it. It's more strategy than stats right now when you're adding. We'll do the stats at the beginning of the week and the theory and the names at the end. It's Jose Alvarado, looking like a lockdown Mariano Rivera type closer for Philadelphia. Add him in all formats. Then Aroldis Chapman, right? Barlow struggling. Chapman's looking good. He could be it. I know people were scoffing, but we knew the potential was there. We didn't know if he's going to be great because the control was looking so poor. But again, that's just what it is. You can't fight it. It's roll over everything. And I got the red flag on the Barlow chart. ERA is at 9. Yikes. That's not going to play. So look for Aroldis Chapman to start closing games. He might be owned. If not, you're desperate. I couldn't find anybody. I would go with Daniel Bard, who's back in game action, right? He was on the IL for anxiety. But in case he's out there, I know some people had to drop him, look for him. And if not, you're just churning right now. It's rough. It's really rough. I actually, pitch for the Athletic. I put a list of guys that have, it's surprising, but it's the world we live in with relievers. So don't be afraid for a week if you get stuck rather than chasing garbage relievers. You find the teams that have starters that don't go more than 5, and there's a handful of relievers. I think I highlighted 9 or 10 relievers. At least 9 innings pitched this year, at least 1 win, at least 12 strikeouts, at least maximum 2 ERA. Right, so guys have lit it up, and you wish you had them over, any of the garbage you've been rolling out there right now. I'm telling you, streaming is tough. I was very good pitching until, I was yucking it up. I'm so cool. Until my guy started getting hurt also, right? Trevor Rogers is down, and Brandon Woodruff is down, and Jeffrey Springs is down, and all of a sudden, not an overall winner anymore. So that's how it goes. We're going to keep working, or I'll keep working. You just keep listening. Rate, review, and subscribe on the way out. Please press the like button. Tag Patty Mayo on social media. He loves that stuff. And we'll see you next week early on. Holler at me with any other questions, between now and Sunday when we add, if anything. But if anything, the audio-only listeners, feel free to jump over and grab the screenshot of this, right? It's all right there. So that will do it. Thanks so much for picking up what we're putting down here at Corked Stats on fantasy baseball picks and bets. Hang on with us at Mayo Media Net. Really appreciate you. Enjoy all the cool golf and mixed martial arts stuff, the UFC stuff going on. That Patty and the boys are doing is just so, so good. And then before you know it, it's football, right? NFL draft and stuff. But we'll be doing the baseball thing all year. Again, 2 25-minute episodes a week to keep you in touch with your fantasy season. All right. We'll see you soon. Catch you on the flip side, yo. Peace.